All right, guys. So in this lecture 7.2, the ambiguous case of the law of sinus. Sometimes the specification for a triangle to be solved are ambiguous. In that case, you need to be ready to solve both triangles that arise from this ambiguous case. So you should be able to solve this the ambiguous triangle. So let's suppose that you are asked to follow the following three steps. Step number one, you have an angle of 50 degrees. So you draw an angle of 50 degrees. Step number two, so that was step number one. Step number two, you have a side of a length which is 3.0 centimeter. And step number three, from that you have another endpoint and you have a side length equal to 2.5 centimeter. Okay? So, some people would draw 2.5 side kicked out to the right as shown below. That should help you to figure it out how to find the expression of the angle theta by using your law of sinus. Okay? In your law of sinus, you know that if you will have sinus of the angle 50.0 degree divided by 2.5 equal sinus of your angle theta divided by 3.0. This is why you end up to have the sinus of the angle theta equal 3.0 multiplied by the sinus of 50.0 degree divided by 2.5, and therefore you end up to have theta equal sinus minus 1 of 3 multiplied by the sinus of 50.0 degree divided by 2.5. But some people would draw the 2.5 centimeter side kicked, okay, to the left instead to go to the right. Right there was to the right. Right there, it's to the left. And so now we have another angle. We have the angle alpha. Alpha is different than the angle theta. So a valid triangle is formed in both cases, but the directions are ambiguous as to which one is desired. Two possible triangles, one acute, one obtuse. Okay, so I have two possible triangles. So we can try to solve both, you know. And so that's what we are going to do. So let's try to solve the first triangle, and I'm going to do this triangle by hand, so you will forgive me if my triangle is not perfect. We have A, B, and C. Then we have the angle right there, 50.0 degree. We have C, A, and B. We know that B equals 3 centimeters, and we say that A was 2.5 centimeters. While using my rule, my law of sin, I'm going to say sinus B over B equals sinus A over A. So therefore, sinus B equals B multiplied by sinus A divided by A. I multiply by B both sides to end up to have that. And therefore, B is supposed to be equal to the sinus minus 1 to the negative 1. I'll keep continuing to the minus 1, negative 1. B multiplied by sinus A divided by A. And actually, this is the angle A. Okay? When I'm subtracting by the different value I have at this position, I end up to have B equal sinus to the negative 1 of 3 multiplied by the sinus of 50.0 degree divided by 2.5, and I end up to have B equal 66.8 degree. Once I have the angle B, knowing the angle A, I know that the angle C will be equal to 180 minus 50 degree minus 66.8 degree. And I end up to have an angle C equal to 63.2 degree. Okay? Now, if I want to calculate the side C, I'm going to use my law of sinus. Actually, well, yes, I'm going to write that. Sinus of the angle C over C equals sinus of the angle A over A, which is exactly the same thing than A over sinus A equals C over sinus C. Therefore, C, what you are looking for, the length of the side, C, is equal to sinus of the angle C multiply, I'm going to write that differently to avoid to be confused, A multiplied by sinus C divided by sinus of the angle A. And when you substitute by the different value you have, you are supposed to have a value of C, and I'll let you find this value by yourself, and you will have a question on it puzzle. Now, the second ambiguous case, so the second ambiguous triangle, ambiguous triangle. Look at a triangle. So we have something like this, where we still have 50.0 degree right there. A, B, C, with 2.5 centimeters equal A, with 3.0 for 3 centimeters for B, and C, I don't know. If I'm using my law of sinus of my angle B over B equals sinus of my angle A over A. So I end up to calculate B. So I end up to have B equal sinus to the -1 of B multiplied by sinus of the angle A divided by A. When I substitute all the value, I end up to have B equal 66.8 degree, but we need to treat 66.8 degree as a reference, Therefore, B is supposed to be equal to 180 minus 66.8 degree. Okay, so I need to break that down because we need to treat 66.8 degree as a reference, and so therefore I end up to have an angle equal 113.2 degree. You need to pay attention that for the ambiguous triangle, subtract sine to the -1 from 180 to get the new angle. Okay? Therefore, now it's pretty simple to say that the angle C will be equal to 180 minus 50. Why do I put 55? Minus 50 minus 113.2 degree. That gives me a value of C of 16.8 degree. C equals 16.8 degree. And so now, using my formula, C over sinus of the angle C equal A over sinus the angle A, and that implies that the length of the side C equal to A sinus the angle C over sinus the angle A. When I substitute the value, you are going to find a value of C. Okay? All right, so I think I pretty much covered everything that I wanted to. We are going to continue to train in class. Take all the notes, mark all the questions you may have, and we'll talk about that in class. But it's pretty simple, basically, using this law of sine.